minimize your spending.
They are. They're all
And then when you buy something, then you have the depreciation.
I just grab
Yeah,
what's there
yeah,
on the
you gotta
table.
go
6 o'clock,
financial
Brian.
It,
things.
what?
6 o'clock. You wanna call the public hearing to order?
Okay. Okay, call to order, Town of Exonia Special Town Board Meeting.
No, it's the public hearing.
The meeting of the elector.
Yeah. you're- Man.
I read off what was in front of me.
Can't see.
I'm not using those.
Clean 'em up for you.
No.
Okay. A call to order, Town of Exonia 2026 Budget Public Hearing. Roll call, please.
Dave Kester,
Here.
Rick Ziegler,
Here.
Brian Durkee,
Here.
Amy Bernard,
Here,
Dan Rutnow.
Here.
Okay, a public hearing will be held before the town board at 6 PM on Monday, November 17, 2025, at Town Hall, W1195 Marietta Avenue, to hear comments from interested persons concerning the 2025 budget, 2026, I'm sorry. Copies of the 2026 budget are available at the clerk's office during the regular office hours. The public will be given a chance to review and express their concerns about the budget at this time. The board will approve the 2026 budget at the special board meeting following the public hearing at 6 PM.
So you have the public hearing. You can ask anybody that's here that wants to talk. If nobody talks, you guys can close that part of the public hearing anytime.
Okay, does anybody have any comments on the budget?
questions?
Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, we'll close the special meeting,
You're gonna close the public hearing.
or public
Yep,
hearing.
Yep. Okay, so you're closing the public hearing. And now you're gonna call to order the special electors meeting to adopt the levy.
Okay, I call to order the special meeting of the electors to adopt the levy, the 2026 levy.
I so moved.
Can you state your name, please?
Dave Shaw,
Address?
West 1865 Rockdale Road. Exonia.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second.
I need your name, please.
Was that
Your name, address?
Bruce Stegner, W1540, Gopher Hill Road.
Thank you. Okay,
A motion for to approve the levy for the 2026 budget.
any comments,
Is there,
discussion?
I mean, I don't see a lot of people here, so.
No?
I'll make a motion if you wanna approve the budget, the levy.
Well, Dave made the motion.
Dave made a motion, you seconded
Okay.
to approve the levy. Are there any other comments on the levy?
Maybe we should just say what it is. Are we live streaming?
Yep. Okay,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah,
So you can read that paper that's in front of you,
yeah.
either that or,
You need one?
the resolution
You
that's
need
in.
that one?
didn't
I got
pass the
this one
motion.
right in front of me.
Okay, you can read what it is.
Otherwise, you can read off the resolution. It tells you what the general fund levy is and what the debt levy is.
So you want me to go through the general property taxes, the intergovernment revenues?
Well, you've got, yeah, I mean, that, you want that part of your motion, you can do that, yeah.
Oh, you don't have it. That was in the-
Okay, so part of the motion would include the general property taxes for 2026, $2,051,530. Intergovernmental revenue, $930,014. License and permits, Okay, 83,900. Public charges for services, 2,052,700. Other sources, 7,888,904. Intergovernmental charges, 134,339. Miscellaneous revenues, 207,807. Total revenues, $4,449,194. It's a change of 6.78%.
Read the expenditure.
Pardon?
Read the expenditures.
Total revenues, general government, $484,115. Public safety, $1,170,231. Streets and transportation, $1,497,360. Cultural, recreation, and education, $190,271. Conservation and development, $78,207. Capital outlay, $19,600. Debt service, $1,009,410. Total expenditures, $4,449,194. Change is 6.78%. You want me to read property taxes?
You can.
Yeah.
Property taxes for 2026. Okay,
So the first one, Brian, is your levy amount.
okay, the levy amount would be 795,000.
No, go to the second line, that's 2025,
Okay, 1,000,000,
32,000. So instead of going up and down like it was before, now it's going sideways,
okay,
reading left to right.
okay. 1,032,807.
And then the next one is your debt levy,
109,
the
410, same thing.
Oh,
Nine.
okay. 1,009,410.
Yep. So
For
you're-
a total
Okay, the general fund, the total,
Yep.
That's
2 million.
2 million.
2,000,000.
of 42,000.
Oh, okay, I'm going down, you guys, it's going over to right. 2,042,217.
That's the levy
Okay.
for 2026,
Correct.
so everybody's clear.
So our levy,
And that's a change of 12%.
12%,
our debt levy is up 27%, and our overall is up 12%.
overall 12. Any questions?
Under the estimated indebtedness computation,
Mm-hmm.
you've got the, for 2026 at 2.256, 259.
Mm-hmm.
And what is that comprised of? Because I know we're carrying the debt service on that in the budget, so,
That is the debt that you took out for the road projects.
for just the road?
Yep, that's your 2021 road project debt.
Okay. And is that that's part of that, out of the fund too, is that, who's that with? What is it, what does that note?
It's a bond,
Okay,
so it's with, through, think it's JP Morgan
Yeah,
is who we pay.
municipal bond.
Yeah, it's direct, it's, the paperwork says JP Morgan, Chase,
Yeah.
but then it also, we actually write the check out to the depository trust.
Okay.
So goes to like a clearinghouse.
Just an observation that I'm making, and maybe I'm not putting all the pieces together. We're seeing, revenues going up 6.78%. But yet our debt service is, 27%. It just seems like it's so odd that you'd have such a high amount of debt, when, you don't have the revenue or the backing to cover, it looks like. I just think that that's not reasonable and not good to have that much debt.
Well, the revenues are going up total 6.78%. And the expenditures are going up total 6.78%.
Yeah, they got a balance.
So we're not,
But the debt,
we're not spending more than we're taking in.
but the overall debt.
The overall debt because of the loans.
Yeah,
talking
I
about.
understand
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
We're
we're
able to-
not
we're able
going
to
into
service the
more
debt.
debt because we.
No,
can't
we're
pay
not,
the-
we haven't assumed any more debt.
It's
We're,
it's a
all it is
balance.
showing up the debt that we had for the roads,
It's
for
a-
our capital improvements.
Thank you.
Public safety's got a lot of change, 66.29%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's,
because
that's a big change.
we put money into that
Mhm.
for the police protection.
Mhm. And that's, well, that's something that's probably been needed for a while.
Yes, I think so.
So I have a question regarding the overall, Joanne.
Yes.
So we're approving these line items.
Well, right now,
We're considering it, I'm sorry.
well, right now, we're at the electors meeting. So
Right.
the electors are approving the levy. That's what's getting attached to the tax bills. That's what, that's what
Yeah.
we need to operate.
Yeah.
So that comes, comprised by what is in these
Right,
multiple lines, yes.
okay.
Did I answer your question?
Kind of, because the levy itself is that's just what that's what we can charge.
Right, so the levy, the general property taxes is
Yeah.
what you're approving
Right.
at the electors meeting.
But we're getting into the expenses and all of that because of, it supports the levy? Is that the,
Well, some of it does, yes, so like, you have $2 million of your levy, that's gonna pay some of your expenses, you have money coming in from other areas
Yeah.
that helps pay,
Yeah.
pay for those expenses.
yeah, via the revenue breakdown, okay.
Right.
And is the budget's a separate line item in the next meeting, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Well, it's a worksheet, because you guys adopted a summary budget, which is that's this.
Right, at the workshop.
no,
the work-
no, we didn't approve anything.
We didn't adopt it.
No, you
It's
guys,
just-
when you adopt a budget, this is your budget,
Yeah,
okay? You adopt a summary budget.
yes,
This is just a worksheet that guides us
Yeah.
into what we spent, where we spend the money.
and that kinda goes to my question, so we technically approved the summary budget.
That's what you're approving.
Yeah, this is the meat of, what goes into here.
Correct.
The money flowing between the GLs and here, as long as what I'm trying to get at is what would require a motion by the board to move money? Just between these GLs or
Yes.
any GLs?
Nope, just the summary.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that was my point is one of the things I'd like to consider as a board is if we tied it back to the GLs here. And for two reasons, I don't know, for a couple of reasons. One, we have a team putting this together that are responsible for the budget. And they could look at the percentages over and under, but if we're not looking at it and saying, why are we going over there? I guess it comes down to, do we do we wanna control that aspect of it as a board?
Through budget amendments?
Through amendments to the budget, yes.
At whatever time they're needed during the
Yes.
year?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, because, like, for instance, the money the police, from years past, we had always tucked in money in there.
Yeah.
And then it would go into the general fund and be used up, without really anybody's.
Well, if you designate it, it doesn't get eaten up.
No, that was designated at
Just
70,000.
this year, though, not last year, right? Not the year
It was
before.
designated 2 years ago.
So when it goes in there, you're saying that we should have an amendment to see where it goes. Am I
If
right?
it's
If
taken
it's
out
not
of
gonna
there.
be used for the GL that
Right.
they designated it for, they being the managers that generated this budget, and I guess what I'm trying to get to is.
Yes, at the end of the year, if you have funds left over, you should be doing like a resolution or, a motion of some sort to designate those funds for those specific items, so that they aren't eaten up by the general fund balance.
And that's kind of my,
But if we don't,
we go. we
if
go
we're
through all
not in
the-
total agreement on the workshop sheets yet, okay, then that's gonna affect these sheets. That's what I was saying earlier. And that's why I was saying, we went over these worksheets, but we didn't adopt them or approve them.
Well, you don't, you adopt and approve
Well, but,
this.
okay, but I don't think we were done working on these.
No,
And that's why I said we're getting a cart. That's why I didn't know the first I knew when I walked in here tonight that we were gonna do this. That's why I wasn't prepared for this, because to me, there's still discussion on this.
yes.
So at this point, all we're doing is approving the tax levy. You guys still have control over changing what goes on inside the budget.
Yeah, but,
And can we approve it up to, and then,
You're approving it the way it is.
right, okay, so we can't stipulate up to?
No, I mean,
Only
you're,
because my point being is if we go back and look at this and go, we need to do this, this, and this,
the
we'd
only
like to
thing,
see.
all right, so, I mean, right now, your maximum is gonna be the $4 million.
That's my
If
point.
you go less than $4 million, you guys can do that.
Okay.
yeah, but we can't, I don't want it to put it in a general fund. If we go less than 4 million, I want it to be
Well,
designated for
then you
state.
have to do that throughout the year. You gotta do it before the end of the year,
Well, why can't we do it now?
because it's not been
Well, I mean, if,
we don't have the money yet.
We gotta do this before the end of next year.
Correct,
Okay,
because this money is coming in throughout next year.
correct.
So if you guys decide not to spend the money, or we don't spend the money and there's something left over, you guys can then designate that money for what you want it,
But
what you
but-
want it to be set aside for.
isn't this designating the money that's coming in?
No, mm-mm. That is just a worksheet for us to guide us on what we're doing.
Yeah, but these budgets were all set off of this.
The categories, yes. So you can do budget amendments,
Well, we just got the numbers last week. We
That's,
didn't adopt the numbers
yeah, and I
yet.
think that's my biggest concern is we just really,
Yeah, we
I
got the
started
numbers
digging
just
into
to take a
them.
look at them, but we're not, nailing to the cross right now, you know what I mean?
Yes,
We should have more discussion on it.
agreed.
There is a motion on the table for the tax levy, is what you're doing.
There is currently, yes, and seconded, yeah. We're just post-second discussion.
Yeah,
I mean, we're allowed to have discussion on it.
yeah.
The levy though, I mean, the motion on the table is for the tax levy. You're discussing what to do with the budget.
Only because it rolls into.
Only because it's
it
part of the
supports-
levy.
The
It
levy.
supports the levy, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's where it's
I
coming
guess
from.
at the end of the day is would we be looking to give lower the levy for the residents if we
Right.
chose to? I mean, I don't know.
this is the
Exactly
bare
right.
minimum of your levy.
Okay.
This is
10.6% looks like an increase to me.
Well, that's because of your debt,
That's because of the debt.
because you guys borrowed $300,000 to purchase a truck,
Yep.
Last
and you have to pay that back.
Truck and outfitted it.
Right.
Well, personally, I don't think anybody wants to see real estate taxes go up, okay? period.
Well, they're gonna go up. I mean, that's
I get that.
inevitable.
I get
I
that,
mean-
but we gotta, We gotta start thinking on the order of not having them go up, maybe finding different ways to do this stuff, or cutting back somehow, period. We just can't keep going, bam, 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 bam.
Well, I understand, but
Empty infinity.
we
At some
need-
point, we have to start checking, getting this checked into balance and not just keep spending.
we also have to maintain trucks and
I get
equipment.
that. I get that.
So I mean, I don't feel that, and
So are we gonna be buying brand new trucks all the time, or are we gonna go out there and start finding something maybe that's got a few miles on it and go that route and let somebody else pay the sticker shock and we will get the discount?
there's something you don't understand. While we're getting off the schedule here now, I can explain that to you later. I mean, because of, I allowed the discussion with the debt service, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll explain that to you later.
And I guess I'm just concerned that, to the point earlier, we're approving the levy. Yes, it's been it's been made and seconded, but the levy, and it's the minimum levy, you said?
That's the minimum we can go. I mean, well, I suppose, all right, that's the maximum.
Maximum, thank you, I was gonna say that, yeah,
We're doing the bare minimum increase.
yeah.
And the tax levy is $2,042,217. We cannot look at this number and say, your taxes are gonna go up, because that depends on the growth of your tax base, your tax rate. So you just can't
Well,
like target that number and
No,
say,
the mill rate's gonna affect it and what the school,
That drives it.
that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I just said
School
that.
system, yeah.
So you can't argue about the levy going up, the levy is the levy, and then
Right.
there's the base is expanding because we just had a total reval last year. We've had growth, it's a lot of factors go into what people pay when they get their bill. And then that's also a factor of the utility district. So, cause that's not on the whole town, it's just on the people who live in.
What, are
the-
you talking about the debt?
The whole, yeah, and the whole cost of running the utility district.
That's, yeah, that's a
that's
separate
totally
budget.
separate,
That's based
That
off
is-
of the user fees.
This is what I am
yeah.
talking about.
Well, okay, I did not follow you because
you're not.
the utility districts are separate from, okay,
You're not really listening to me, that's the problem.
okay, well, I'm sorry, I didn't follow.
Or should we be getting more bids out for some of these trucks? It seems like we're only going
Don't
on.
go there yet, just,
Okay,
don't go on nothing individually, let's just stick with where we're
in
at.
general, that goes with everything.
Well,
2 isn't enough. I think we should go beyond 3
Just-
and 4.
So I guess, you know, at the end of the day, if this is, we're approving the levy, and it's the minimum, or it's
it's a maximum.
maximum, thank you. I see a lot of work to be done here, and whatever that looks like. At the end of the day, I don't know, but how does that impact these numbers then, Joanne?
How does what impact?
If
numbers?
we make,
The levy's the levy if we approve it tonight.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be.
right,
And that's depending on the mill rate and depending where the schools and everybody comes in. That's where the taxes will be,
Yeah,
so
we'll-
we don't know if they'll be up or down.
we can only control the town anyway, so.
Yeah, we can only control what we gotta control. So I guess we could approve the levy, but there still has to be more work done to this before the night's over.
Yes. And,
The-
but if we approve the levy, any changes we make here would be in the form of a budget amendment, correct?
No,
No.
you just, no, I mean, if you make changes to the budget
Yeah.
at the town board meeting,
Uh-huh.
then that affects what, you know, what we do in those worksheets, yes.
Okay.
It's the electors who vote to
Correct.
approve the
Yeah.
tax levy.
Well, we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, then I believe it is adopted.
No, you have to take a vote.
Oh. Take a vote, all those in favor, signal by aye,
I would ask them to raise their hand, please.
or raise their hand.
Yes.
Opposed?
3, 4, 5.
None of you guys voted? Okay.
Oh,
It's
wow.
adopted.
One vote.
So I counted 5 hands.
I voted
Did you
also.
put me?
Should we start over then? If you guys didn't, okay. Those that are in favor of the levy, please raise your hand for 2026.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thank you. And now,
Opposed?
none. Okay, so the levy is carried. That's the end of the business for,
Close the election.
levy.
yep, close the electors meeting.
Close the election.
Okay. Do I have a motion to close it?
So,
Okay.
Electors.
We have a motion and a second to close the electors part of the meeting. It is closed. Okay, now we'll call to order the Town of Exonia Special Town Board meeting. Roll call, please.
Dave Kester,
Here.
Rick Ziegler,
Here,
Brian Durkey,
Here.
Amy Renard,
Here,
Dan Rupnow.
Here.
It's not on the paper, but Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Proof of posting and notice,
It was posted.
okay? Discussion and possible action to approve the application for a retail class B retail license for Embers of Tuscany LLC, N4345 Park Street, Kelly Malo agent.
Yep, so this is the Chivalry, the old Chivalry building, the Fireman's Hall.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fireman's Hall. So these are, the new people that are taking over that lease that you guys approved at the last meeting. So now they're getting their liquor license so that they can operate.
Was the lease executed?
Yep, it was all
Okay.
done and signed and
Okay.
taken care of.
Move to approve the
Second.
application for,
Oh,
sorry,
sorry.
the application for a retail, Class B retail liquor license. No, here, Class B license.
It's a, yeah, it's a retail license.
For Embers of Tuscany LLC, Kelly Malo agent.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action on Exonia Youth Baseball Agreement for 2026. Does Peter know this is on tonight?
I don't know.
Well, I'm
I
just
didn't talk-
asking,
I
did
didn't-
anybody
yeah,
notify
no,
Peter?
I didn't talk to him, so I don't know.
Well, I don't think we can do anything on this till Peter knows.
Rick's on the Park and Rec board.
Yeah.
I understand,
Yeah,
but
Rick can read it, right?
I think Peter's in charge of this. Peter's the one who's handled the contracts. Well,
Do we know if they were, do we know anything about their contracts? Rick, do you know anything about the contracts with youth baseball?
yeah, I'm on the Park and Rec,
Yep.
committee.
Yep.
Is that rate an increase, the $105 per field per day, or is that the same?
It,
No.
it's tentative, it was on the, it's in the budget as a tentative.
it's a huge increase.
Yeah.
Well, is that one big, are those big,
Yeah.
that was a,
On the youth baseball, they were being kind of gifted for some reason. I'm not clear on the reason. And so what we did was worked on this, and the approval was to match both of the teams at the same cost per game. So that can't say that the youth is paying one thing and the Knights paying something else. Why that discrepancy was, for the best that I can understand, is that the youth was doing some kind of services in the past somewhere. I'm not clear exactly what that was, and that was some kind of offset.
So this is even for everybody.
Pardon?
This is the even fee for everyone.
That's,
So 105 is.
Okay,
That-
105 is for anybody.
that's the
Yep.
desire of the new contract, to
Okay.
match it up, because the cost for Ben and his crew or Andrew and his crew is essentially the same each game to prepare. The hours of work and the, stuff that they have to do to the soil and whatever, paint it and et cetera. So,
And 105 is up from,
I don't.
Well, for the youth baseball, it's about a 70% increase.
It's significant.
It's significant, and
Right,
it's
yeah.
it's a crazy jump, and here's the whole thing. The youth baseball is more of a local baseball. The Knights are more of a traveling team, and the youth baseball has put more games in than they originally started with. Okay, so their fees were not matching, but part of the discussion that I want to bring up is, why do we have a park if we're gonna charge for I mean, I can see, some of the materials we use are special and all that, but like wages and stuff, they're covered for the year. I mean, that's part of having a park. I mean, that, to me, why, if we're gonna have playground equipment with a meter on it that you can only ride for 5 minutes when you stick your quarter in? I mean,
Well,
so to me, your actual expenses to do the diamonds would be your diamond dry, your chalking, that kind of stuff. As far as their insurance, their labor, that's part of having a park. That's part of what people pay in their taxes.
the thing that I see in this town, and I don't know why, and it goes all the way from fire department to Parks and Recs, is that every place that I do, and I frequent a lot of places, they have fundraisers, they have something out there saying, can you donate to? What's wrong with that? People want to give something, they'll give it to them. You'd be surprised, at the end of the day, there might be more than $105 in that.
You'd be surprised, we've been trying to get money for the playground equipment and it's
Yeah,
barely
but
moved.
when people are there and they see that, and they go to the concession
No,
stand,
I
they're gonna
don't,
do something.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, you don't believe it?
Ben, do you?
You should come with me, I'll show you
Okay,
the fun
but
there.
I'm not gonna argue, but
I'm just saying.
it's
we
my
should start
personal
that
belief.
practice.
Do you know what the increase was for youth? From up to 105 from what?
If when you use baseball, usually paid a yearly fee. They had been on a contract for several years. They had a 3-year contract, probably started back in 21, and then it was only $1,500 for the whole year. They originally started out, they didn't have very many games. They probably started with 40 some odd games. They're all now up to about 91 games a season. So, and when they renewed their contract, they've been doing a couple 1-year contracts, they left it at $1,500, which was, they're now, I know they have over 200 kids in the program, but they were having 91 games, and it's a considerable amount more, and the Park and Rec had asked us what the cost was per game, so we came back and gave them what the cost was per game. Andrew had it all figured out by time. There's a considerable amount of time spent with the seasonal help that is spent just for baseball. Pretty much the seasonal help is there for setting up baseball. So the $105 comes in close to what the Knights baseball team was paying. They were paying $75 a game for the Knights, and they paid per game. So that was why.
But in Andrew's figures, they figured in his health insurance, they figured in his wages for mowing, I mean, they figured in everything. This wasn't just, I mean, to me,
Excuse me, I don't believe that was included, because I was at these meetings.
no, it was included.
That's not true, what you just said.
Ben, was it true?
No, we included his hourly wage.
Okay, but
It was actually split between 50-50 between the seasonal and Andrews, so depending on who, because he sets up more of the earlier games, and the later games in the year are set up by the seasonal.
but his hourly wage would include his health insurance.
No.
No, we did not do it based on his whole wage.
We didn't, yeah,
We
you
didn't
have an
do
hourly
billable
wage and
wage,
you have a
we did
billable wage, and we did not do it based on.
So you
his
didn't
billable.
do you did his billable wage.
No,
did
we
his hourly wage.
not his
Or they
billable
did.
wage. His billable wage would have been, you know, that would be his hourly plus the benefit.
Okay, but it also included mowing and everything else of the diamonds, correct?
No, that does not include any of the other.
So this much is just to do a
That
diamond?
is all is for a diamond. That is just for setting up games for baseball. That is the cost per game.
Andrew's hourly rate
105.
plus supplies.
Okay, that's our basic cost.
That's just the base cost of what it takes to put on one baseball game. With the time it's spent, setting up the diamonds, the lines. Andrew did a very good job, coming up with what the cost per game was. He had all the seasonal help keeping track of their time this past year so that he could come up with a very concise answer.
I mean, what's $105? You can't hardly fill your truck up for that anymore.
So,
You know what I mean? We gotta have realization.
I don't disagree, and I think we're going in the right direction, but to Brian's point, this is a significant increase on this entity.
Right. I mean, the thing I think about the youth, the smaller kids, yeah, I can kinda see that. But as you get older.
I don't mind the traveling team,
No,
okay, what it costs, it
Right,
costs.
right.
Okay, but to me, the youth baseballs are local kids here.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's why I'm saying I have a problem with that one.
That's what I'm trying to say to you, yeah.
And,
It's a little-
and I think we're wrong in continuing this discussion, because in all the years Peter has handled the contracts, and if Peter wasn't notified that this was on the agenda tonight, we shouldn't be acting on it.
Well, let's postpone it then.
That's how I feel.
All right, I'll make that motion to postpone both of them.
A second?
And
Second.
refer back to the Park and Rec Board.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to postpone continuing discussion on youth baseball contract, their agreement,
Both of them,
both of them, for the youth and for the Knights.
yeah,
Is that part of your motion?
yeah.
Okay. Do I have any more discussion on this?
Yeah, I do. Now, these youth kids are just residents in the town, am I right?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
there might be
So-
some there's some Oconomowoc and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
But it's all younger, it's not a traveling team.
Well, what I'm getting at is that their parents pay taxes for the town and stuff like that, you know what I mean? That's where I'm coming from. Anybody that comes from
Oh,
the
as a
outside.
partial offset, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, there you go. That's my only discussion with that.
Amy, was your motion to postpone it to the next agenda or to a future agenda?
Future.
Future maybe, and we wanna have Peter here when we.
Is there any more discussion on that, or are we closed on that?
Well, no, right now I asked, is there any more discussion?
Yeah, and I have a comment.
Okay,
Being on the Park and Rec Board, and Ben's on the Park and Rec Board also, we have discussed this and brought this in up.
then why has Peter been involved for the last how many years?
Well, I can't answer a what if on what happened yesterday.
Well, to me, it's wrong. Peter was involved right up till the last meeting.
Okay,
He came up after the town board meeting and wanted to know why he was under the assumption it was gonna be in the board meeting. And if he wasn't notified of this meeting, then we can't proceed in my mind, but that's up to you guys.
I would think that one thing I'd like the board to consider as we postpone this and go into the future meeting, it's gonna be a big pill to swallow for any entity. The $1,500 a year, and I get it, we set that price at 40 games 5 years ago. So they should be expecting an increase, they should have expected an increase 4 years ago. We didn't do that, now we're gonna go and hammer them. I mean, should they pay it? Yes. But it's a tougher pill to swallow now that we're hitting them all at once.
I agree.
My discussion on this is that if they're part of the town of Auxilia, I don't have a problem with it. But if they're from the outside, then they should be paying.
Well,
Because I think it would go the other way too. If
Yeah.
you're not part of like a certain area that you're from, people that come in from the outside should pay.
Oh, user fees are always set to if you're a resident or not. I mean, if you're not a resident,
Yeah, I
non-resident
get
gets a higher fee.
Well,
We shouldn't-
Oconomowoc has a complete youth program that the rec department handles, which we're not capable of handling. So we try to simplify it. But, to me, we can separate, but I don't think we should continue without Peter. I have a motion with a second, so any more discussion?
Ben, do you have any thoughts
I was
at
just
this
gonna
point?
say it was unanimously approved by the Park Park and Rec Board.
That's what I'm getting at. We have discussed
Okay,
these things.
you made the comments.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor of postponing it, raise your hand. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, it's postponed. Discussion and possible action to approve resolution 2025-8, the Town of Exonia 2026 general fund budget. I believe there's a lot of discussion on that.
That one.
I think you're right.
So, do we wanna skip that one and go to the other ones, or stop right here and continue discussing before we move on?
Maybe a good thought would be to finish the rest of the business to have.
Because I think the utility districts are pretty much their own,
Yeah, exactly.
as long as the boards,
I would agree with that thought, Brian.
Well, there might
well,
be-
I'm just
there
asking
might
for,
be some aspects of in the utility budgets that will be impacted by the discussions here too.
you wanna hold on them all?
I would say we just go right down the line.
Okay, we go down the line, so.
Yeah.
So we're stuck at, right now, basically, we're on the discussion for the general fund budget.
Does anybody at the table need the budget? Sheets? You have a big one?
Yeah, no,
And
got it.
there was no changes from.
What's the date of, update on that, Joanne?
It's the one that I gave you.
It's the one she gave out,
Yeah,
there was
okay.
nothing changed.
Okay, she just had the nice green little marker up on
And
top.
I have no interest in going from line to line, okay, because I believe we've already done that. But I mean, we've gotta have general ideas, and let me just give you a little summary on my thought, which might make it simpler. Basically, the way I look at it, this budget is about $455,000 fat. Because we had an extra $368,000 from the We Energies plant, and we had $70,000 that we'd saved for police protection. And when I say that, that's money we won't have next year. So we would, to sustain this budget next year, we would be $450,000 short. And this budget here also has $150,000 of borrowing in it.
So you're saying that We Energy isn't gonna pay us yearly then?
No, they are, but we got an extra
We got a 2025 payment, which
that we
we're
didn't
not
expect.
expecting.
That was not part of our budget. So they rolled the money into the 26 budget, okay? So we had 386,000 extra, and that's what I wanted to make everybody aware of. That, okay, we're not gonna have to sustain. Now, there's one thing, we did put $300,000 in for engineering or to continue with the new shop. So some of it would come back. But we're still looking at $150,000 shortcut, shortfall. And out of that shortfall, the fire department took absolutely nothing other than their actual wages and a couple turnout gear. I mean, they didn't update any ambulance equipment, nothing. Okay? So, in order for me to sign a 5-year contract for police protection, okay, we would walk into next year's budget $150,000 short in round numbers to sustain this budget, plus borrowing $150,000. So we would be $250,000 short next year when we start,
You said 150 and 150, right? That's 300.
or 300. I'm sorry, Dan. Yes.
You're the one who proposed the police, contract.
Wait a minute.
So how come this is all coming out now? Why, didn't you say this?
I think you're
last
misinterpreting,
week?
I think you're misinterpreting them. I think the reality is, that police piece is, I think, a key piece to this, right?
Yes.
But, what we're talking about overall, the budget is about 300 fat. To be able to sustain it next year.
I'm not just saying police budget,
No,
but
no,
to sustain it, the
overall.
budget you have in front of you would be 300,000 fat next year that you don't have.
And what do you want to do about it?
Well, that's why I thought there would be more discussion tonight.
Yeah.
I did not believe we were at this point.
Oh,
So we're gonna be under 300,000 more, not fat.
I mean, under. We're gonna be in
Yeah,
debt.
fat is in excess,
yeah,
okay?
so,
Now I'm
okay,
back
that's
to
what
where
I
you should
don't,
be.
Okay.
all right.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
because when we went line to line, nobody asked any questions.
Wasn't we already
Well,
supposed to give us 500,000? Are we short?
I didn't prepare the
No.
budget. This was prepared by Joanne and presented to you
You're
guys.
kinda yelling.
Okay, but you make it like it
You were,
didn't happen because I didn't do my job.
that's not what I said.
Yes, you said, why didn't I bring it to you?
I said, why didn't you bring all this up when we had our 4.5 hour budget workshop?
How long were we gonna work after 4.5 hours?
As long as it takes.
Okay,
That's
then it
our
was my
job.
mistake again.
Well, I think it's a lot,
I just-
it's a lot to get thrown on, like you talked, we
Yeah.
just got this, and everybody just got it though, so to digest it over the last week or so, it's been kind of eye-opening and things that we need to look at.
I did not
Trimming-
prepare
trimming the
this.
budget.
I think we can get it adjusted by looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
and finding out what we don't need, and what we do need, and have our priorities.
Yeah.
Everybody does it.
Everybody does it,
I have to do it.
yeah.
Well, that's why I said we
I
need
drive around in
discussion.
an old '89. Could I use a brand new one? You betcha. But I guess what? It don't happen. Sometimes we have to look at that as a board for the town. And I think look at certain other things too.
That's why I
I
thought
think we can get it in line,
this-
but we
what-
have to really look at it.
what started tonight was putting the cart in front of the horse. And I thought we were doing one more night of workshop with
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
But I did not prepare this. This was
And-
not,
And if that,
Nobody said you
if,
did.
if
So
this
is it the
turns out to
police
be
that's
another
Our
forward
trade-off,
treasurer
the police is only one portion.
Right.
I mean, you've got a whole budget in front of you.
yeah. There's
So we
other,
may have to forego the police for a year if we have to, or.
No, we're
No.
signing a 5-year contract.
well, that's.
We did not
We didn't
sign
sign it
anything.
yet.
That's the,
So,
Okay.
okay, you're shouting.
I'm not shouting.
Yes, you are.
Okay, then I'll
so
whisper,
the,
we did not
the
sign
goal would be, I
anything.
think, the goal would be to execute that 5-year contract with Lavelle, or with, Village of Lock Lavelle, and then find out what we need to do within the rest of this budget to make that happen.
Right.
That's my
See how
thought,
we can make it work, if it will work.
yeah. I mean, that's an opportunity to execute a 5-year deal right now.
I believe it's a great
I
opportunity.
think,
And it's one that people want. There's no argument.
yeah,
But the point comes into play is, walking in the next year, you're gonna be that short to sustain what's here.
completely agree. And
That's the
like you
point
said,
I was-
The only thing that's probably not gonna be there is the, related to the town of, the town, workshop.
That's already, that 300,000 is
I know.
already
It,
excluded.
yeah, oh, it is, out of your other piece, okay,
I mean, we would be,
yeah,
we would be that short even getting that 300,000 back.
back, yeah, yeah.
Because remember, we had 450,000 extra this year, plus we had
150 in debt,
150 that we borrowed. So basically, we had $600,000 that this budget had to play with. Where next year, you will have 150,000 if you borrow, and you'll have another 150, so you'd have 300.
so that rolling 150 that has been in every budget is, it's not in here though.
It's in there.
It's in there.
No, and the revenue, yes, it's under.
No,
What?
in the debt service, is it?
Yes, it's in the debt service.
Okay. Okay, I mean, I would say that would be for one thing first, right off. And the reason I guess I put it that way is because I'm not a big fan of having a pool of money to be used, because it gets used. If we don't have it, it doesn't get used. If we
Yeah, but-
need it, then we would act on it.
But what's wrong with having an excess? There's nothing wrong
A
with
line,
that.
but it's a debt,
It's
it's
a
not
comfort,
excess, it's a
security
debt.
comfort, right?
Huh?
You don't have to spend every single cent that you have.
But we have, historically have spent that 150 every year.
Yeah.
And that's my point, is if we do, it's all it is a line of credit,
Right.
there's nothing to not have it, I mean, we.
Well, first of all, we borrow money for equipment.
Yep,
You cannot borrow money to pay wages. So
Right,
when you
right.
borrow money, the borrowed money has to be designated for
Right.
equipment or
there's gotta be
equipment.
collateral or something, yes.
Yeah, and it has to be collateral, cannot be wages.
Yep.
looking back when we start going at equipment and stuff, I mean, everybody's like, it's got an urgency, but maybe sometimes we should wait 1 year and then look at it again. Because I think whatever we have is gonna last for another year, you know?
Well, the
I'm
answer,
just saying, just if we have to cut somewhere.
to answer your equipment about buying used equipment, it doesn't work, like especially when it comes to trucks and all this other stuff, because we get what's called a government discount. Okay, and so when we buy a Bobcat or a lawnmower or whatever, like John Deere, the government discount for purchasing a brand new one outweighs, you know, the amount of money we get. You can't even buy a used one. So,
Outweighs what?
okay, if you get $10,000 off on a new truck through government discount, okay, if you bought a used truck, you would have spent as much money and now you have a used truck. Okay, because we saved 10,000 off the top of the new one.
If you were to shop that truck that we bought used right now, we probably wouldn't be too far out of whack with it.
I must be doing something wrong.
No, we gotta
I'm still
get-
in
we're-
business,
we're
and
part
I've been
of-
in business, I don't know how many
We're-
years, and all I do is buy used
But we're
stuff.
part of a
But you don't get the government discount.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
part of
but
the
what I'm
municipal
saying
fleet.
is that, I don't think you know what is it a set amount? Is it a set amount? Is the government a set amount on this
No,
equipment?
it's based on
It's a-
whatever item.
Is it a
Well,
percent?
it's a cent, it's a set amount, but the amount you get back would be determined by how much money the equipment were to cost. You know, if you're buying a $10,000 more, it's based on a $10,000. If you're buying a $50,000 truck, the percentage would be a lot more because it's based on 50,000.
Or are we better looking at leasing maybe some of this stuff sometimes for a year to get by and then purchasing?
Because I argued this,
If, to
okay,
help the budget out.
to save a little time, I argued this for years about buying used, and it did not work. Because I looked at what a used truck would cost and what we could buy a brand new truck for, and the new truck sometimes was even cheaper, okay, than what this used truck was. So when it comes to buying equipment with the government discount, that's something you don't get, nor do I get as owning your own business. It makes a huge difference for municipalities.
Yeah, fleet deals like that
So
are,
that-
they're hard to beat.
Yeah, that becomes a mute, and I argued that for years, Dan, and I researched it, and that's why I know.
So getting back to what I said after that, is that, are we good, maybe leasing something for a year? So we can get, maybe if we have a budget that's not gonna fit everything, maybe lease it for a year with an option to buy?
I don't know about through government how that would work, but I know with my business, the dollars never figured
Sometimes
out.
you look at stuff, you know, and I've had this happen where I was like, hey, I could use another something or another, and I go lease it.
Well.
Okay, interesting enough, when you go back to turn that in, they'll say, I'll tell you what, if you wanna buy that thing, I'll take everything you paid in lease towards the purchase. And that's happened more to me, I mean, like 85% of the time.
Well,
I think
So I'm
it'd
just
be
looking-
something we should probably investigate as those needs come up.
Yes. And like I
But look at
said
'em, look at
before,
the
we're
numbers.
having like 1 or 2 people give us these estimates, and I think we gotta search this out more than just 1 and 2 people.
Commercial fleet, commercial lease. is a
commercial
lot
fleet
different.
is the same. I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty much the discount, and see, sometimes in order to get the discount, it's gotta be bought in the county. In other words, like, a John Deere dealer in Waukesha County can't sell us a piece of equipment with the discount, like, cause John Deere has territorial areas. So not always does that work. Sometimes you have to stay within your territory. The dealer that's in your territory in order to get the discount. That I know for a fact. But we shouldn't get hung up on buying equipment right now because the idea is what are we gonna do with the budget?
Well, I'm just saying.
Cause in here, we're not really buying
To
that much.
look into other areas of trying to
I
save
think
money.
as needs arise, I think that look at alternate financing sources, and it's probably not a bad idea. I don't think we typically do, commercial leases aren't usually very attractive, but
What I find out is that it's, hey, I gotta use a piece of equipment, and when, in that same scenario, like I just told you about leasing it, I'll say, hey, I'll trade this thing in, we don't want it. So
No,
you end
they-
up keeping it,
they
they'll
don't
give
want
it
it
to you
back.
like, I mean, pennies on the dollar. so-
I'm really, but we're getting off the point. I mean,
Yeah,
we're
but I'm
not,
saying, as long as we go into this budget, we gotta start looking into more than just.
but that's
lot
when we're
things.
purchasing equipment budget. This one here, There's really not much
But we're
equipment.
talking about saving money, and I'm just trying to give an idea of how we can save money.
So back to removing that 150,000 from debt service, I think that would be automatic, only and again, if we don't, if it's not there, it's not getting used, if it's needed, I'm not saying if something's needed that we don't act on it, I'm just saying don't have a line of credit set up for that.
Yeah,
There's just no.
it's like anything.
Well, you don't know if you don't know if we need it or don't need it till you decide what you're gonna cut. Because right now, it's in here.
But the debt service is in there,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
I
it's
mean,
here. So before I think if we say if we need it or don't need it, let's look at what you're gonna take out.
Well, that'd be one item I would take out, is my point,
Yeah, the 150.
yeah.
Because if it's there, you're gonna find a way, you're
But
gonna
the
say
one
it's too easy to
fifty
spend
is
it.
paying these line items. If you take the 150 out, you can't pay these line items.
Well, the revenue stream side of it, but there's a debt side to it too, so.
Say we don't have any.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
The 150 is figured in paying for every one of these numbers.
You can't touch it, but.
Yeah, yes.
So you have to cut 150,000 out of here before you can,
No, you wash it out, because it's in the debt service, because it's an annual debt, right? We don't carry it over.
No, you pay it off every January.
Yeah, so it's 150, 160, 170 out.
Yeah,
but you can't pay that with this budget.
You only use,
we're
it's a
paying
line of
we're
credit, so
paying
you only go get it when you
$300,000
need it.
out
What?
of this budget for last year's loan. That's the debt service.
Yeah.
And then we anticipate borrowing another 150,000, so that's in here.
Yeah.
But if you don't borrow it,
You don't
have it.
You don't have it.
But we've always, I guess historically,
always done that,
historically,
that's
we've
from what I
always
understand.
done it.
But the 300,000 was borrowed to balance budget last year, is what I was told.
It was used to purchase,
The
the
truck
truck.
and the equipment on the truck.
Which was part of budget.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we approved that last year,
Yep, the truck. With borrow it.
yes. Well, should we just run, I mean, does anybody have areas?
Bet you can give the truck back.
So, Brian, do you have areas where you think the budget should be cut? You've thought about this a lot, it seems.
Well, I don't think it's so much up to me. I mean, I believe it's the duty of the board.
Well, I can go through this,
I mean,
but maybe nobody will like it.
well, I'm not saying to be unreasonable, but I'm just saying, I mean, realistically, I mean, there's some things in here, do we need them or don't we need them? And I think that's a board decision, and, I just looked at the dollars and cents and where we would be next year. And I couldn't sign a 5-year contract knowing we were walking in 150,000 short.
Why would you? I wouldn't either.
No.
So that's why I wanted everybody here to be comfortable before we went any further. So if we want police protection of 250,000, then we have to figure out what we're gonna take out of here. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I wouldn't sign it. I don't wanna do it until I get the direction of everybody. I was not gonna take that on myself.
Just a thought. And I'm just talking from a mathematical point of view, okay?
Yeah,
So say there's 10 different departments that we're going to be looking at on
Well-
there. I mean, whatever the number is, we take the 250, divide it by 10, and each of these things has to get sliced then by 25G. You know what I mean?
well,
I'm
first
just-
of all, Parks doesn't have the fat to give 25 Gs. And second of all, the transfer site comes in, do you wanna go to a referendum and ask the people, do they wanna pay more? Cause originally, here was my thought originally was, if each taxpayer was assessed $100 special assessment, okay, that would give us $300,000 roughly. That would cover the police department. But according to Stan and Joanne, we couldn't do it that way because it's something about accounting you can't, because this was services provided, not equipment or something. So we couldn't do it, but that was the way I originally, because I asked probably 20 different households, would you be opposed to a $100 special assessment on your taxes
Well, I
for
think
police
a
protection?
Referendum's a great idea, because you're gonna get your answer right away.
Well-
It's gonna be pretty easy, nobody's gonna be bucking you if it comes in, voted, hey, this is what it is.
Well, and that's, see, if we provide police protection this year and take it to a referendum next year, people are gonna say, well, how did you have money last year? Now you don't have it. You can't,
Explain it to them.
well, I think either we don't do it and have a referendum, or we cut 250 out, or 150, I mean, out, and have the police contract. I mean, I don't know what the contract would be a year from now. I mean, they were willing to give us a 5-year contract now,
Can
and
we
that's
just
hard to
ask them and
pass.
say, hey, this is kinda what we're doing and this is working? Could you kinda give us an idea if it was change in the year and what would be? Just ask them. Doesn't hurt to ask.
Well, I think the reason they were so willing to be involved with us is they were gonna buy a new car and they were gonna hire a guy and stuff. And I think what we wanted fit into their whole budget. In other words, we were a part of their budget and it worked right now, okay? So I would prefer to, but that's up to you guys how we do this. I mean, I'll ask them, Dan, I'll ask anybody, but I
All you
think,
gotta do.
I think the reason we got what we got was because it was part of the, it worked into their needs as well as ours.
Doesn't hurt to say it.
Is
what
there a
we got.
way, is there a way to trim out a chunk of change and still retain that option? Because if we lock in for 5 years now, that's a fixed rate. That's pretty attractive. Cause it could be 30% higher in 5 years.
Oh, it will be.
I get that.
I mean, it
See
will
if they
be.
give you that same deal in a year.
What?
So all you gotta do is say, hey, can we
Yeah,
get
no, I
the same
get-
deal in a year?
Yep.
Okay. You won't know until you ask. And if they say no, well, then
Agreed.
you can start changing the tone of things.
Agreed.
But you have to try it. You just can't sit there and say,
Well, but-
well, I don't know if they will. Well, ask
mean-
them.
One of the things that, when I was talking with the chief, over there about, we were talking about the radios, with the whole like 911 system and stuff. She gave me an update and she said, well, at this rate, she goes, the contract that you guys are discussing wouldn't happen for probably at least 6 months into next year. So it wouldn't be a full year contract next year.
But it's still a 5-year contract.
It would be a 5-year
It'd
contract,
be a 5-year contract.
but it wouldn't start as of January 1 this coming year.
6 months before they can initiate it then.
And they'd have to
Probably.
hire somebody and
Well, that's why,
buy a
that's what they're
car
saying.
and all
is
that.
at
They
least
gotta
6
buy a
months.
car and radios, and then they gotta, no, it wouldn't happen, at the flip of New Year's.
Right.
I realize that, but it's still, the thing you have to remember is it's a 5-year commitment.
Mhm.
And I just want everybody sitting up here to understand what the commitment is.
Well, it just seems to be, since it's such a large financial commitment, I think a referendum would be in order so that the people that are gonna be paying for it, that they can say, yes, I want it, or no, I can't afford it. I just think that then we're not put in that uncomfortable position that we decided to burden the taxpayers with whatever the amount happens to be.
And I would just keep in mind, we've got potential of a new town garage, fire station. Those will all be referenda items too.
I was gonna say, you're
So-
gonna have a referendum, or we're gonna have to do a debt service
Every year, and I
with
gotta-
the new shop, which we need that as much as we need anything.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't wanna jeopardize the new shop in any way.
Agreed.
Because that's something I believe is extremely needed, and if we keep waiting, it's only gonna cost more, and then we also have some needs with the fire department, so we gotta continue moving.
So my only point in that is that you got a referendum for the fire, or I'm sorry, for the police department, or for police service.
Protection.
And now all of a sudden, we're gonna back it up a year later or 2
Well, I don't
years
think we're
later.
gonna have a referendum on on the shop.
No.
That'll just be a loan like we did for our road improvements and stuff.
Okay,
You know, we'll do a bond, we'll have Brian Ramers come in and help us set it all up
okay.
on how we finance it. I mean, that's really not a question if we need it or don't need it, we need it. So that would not be a referendum item in my mind.
Okay,
Okay, I mean, a referendum item is police protection. We do have police protection with the sheriff.
we do.
Now, it's not what people want, it's
Right.
not what they like. I don't say I'm not saying it's good or bad. Okay, I'm just saying, we've had people that want improvements, I'll leave it at that. But the shop is not a referendum item because that is like our roads, it was a needed item,
Yeah.
because that's your infrastructure.
I can see both sides of that argument, but
No, I mean, if,
Just because you do one doesn't mean you have to do it every time.
well, but if we have one accident down there putting these plows on outside in the middle of a snowstorm in the dark, we're in big liability.
Yeah.
And they can't put the trucks in the shop with the plows on.
But what I'm saying is now, when we go out there, let's start getting bids from just more than 2 people. Okay, let's put it out there, let's get a bunch.
I understand, but what are we bidding right now, Dan?
No, when you start moving forward with the shop and stuff like
Well,
that.
you put the bid out, we can't make people bid.
yeah, we've had trouble with responses on bids before, and it really does suck.
Yeah, but is there anything saying, hey, you know, the town is putting, would you be interested in bidding?
Yes, there are.
Can you do that?
No,
No, because these are all through government. It's got a whole bid bond, a bid package. It's got a process. There's a complete process. It isn't like running a private business.
So is there a pool out there that, you know, only a certain amount you can do that?
What it is we will pick a general. You will pick a general. And from the general, they will send it out for bids.
But your general's gonna tell
Right.
you basically what it's gonna
No,
be.
you can pick a design, and then from there, it has to go out for bid from the design. And then the bids are based on the design. The design would be a professional fee, so there you can pick who you want. But then even that, the designer has to, say you went with a design and build company, they have to bid on their own project that they help.
Right, but they set the package.
Yeah. and
They
then
set the minimum and they set the package.
They set what you're looking for, and then the people put in the bids on the design. And the designer might not even win the contract.
Yeah, it's well worth it.
And every project has got its
But-
attractions for bidding.
But we're kind of getting off base here. I mean, Calvin,
Could I just say something about the referendum? I'm not opposed to it, but I think there's more to it than just doing a referendum for police services. I think you're gonna need hard numbers, you're gonna need to do studies to show that there's a need for it, right? Because you have county sheriff's department right now, which, 50% of the township might be fine with. The other 50% might not be. But until you have that study of, it takes Jefferson County X amount of minutes to get to exoning, this is what it could be if we had our own hired police service,
Well,
things like that.
I can attest to it. Anytime I've called them, it took over an hour.
I'm aware.
And I'm not saying it's a study, but you might just sit there and go, well,
You're gonna need some numbers.
well, what do we need? We need to help the guys down the
Well,
road
but-
hourly. But
I
I'm
mean,
just
that-
saying, I get what you mean.
that's all
But-
part of doing
but
a
I think
referendum.
we know that already, and that's why we're looking at a department, because the response is too far out there.
But that's all part of a referendum. I mean,
If you're gonna go to referendum,
if you're gonna go to it, that's what you would,
Yeah.
you would have.
To Calvin's point, yes, you would need to have more than just we want, or
Yeah.
what do you think?
Pardon me?
You would need more than just we want. Do you want it or don't you want it? You'd have to support why.
I know, I get that, but
Yeah.
the study about how much time it takes them to get up here versus going to Lake Mills is gonna be different. You understand what I
Or if
mean?
they're in Lake
Because they're
Mills,
way down there,
or
they
they're-
have to come way up here.
In Whitewater, 39 minutes
So
away.
it's pretty obvious, we're not right,
Wow.
we're the farthest
But
down.
that, we're getting off point
That's
again.
why-
But I'm saying, we're probably better off calling Dodge County, they'll get here sooner.
Well, I understand. I know what the need is.
You know what I mean?
I know what the need is,
Okay.
Dan, but,
Yeah.
and the people have kind of spoken, but it's just some ideas. And maybe, maybe we don't wanna go to referendum.
They
Maybe,
have told me down there, can you call Dodge County, cause we can't get there, and I have. And
Okay,
they're like that.
I understand, but the idea is,
So the
do we
study
wanna?
doesn't need to be done.
it would all be part of a referendum, but the idea is, do you wanna cut out of this budget, or do you wanna hold it, or what do you wanna do?
But he's right, we have protection already, do we have to spend more? I get that. You know, are we okay with that?
Yeah.
Well, a lot
I
of
get
people
that.
weren't at the annual
Maybe
meeting.
we have to take it for another year or something like that, you know?
Right, can I inject something as a county board member?
Yeah,
One thing you have to take in consideration, this is Jefferson County. Village of Lake LaBelle gets called in for a call. They'll handle, you know, say you have a complaint that you have an intruder by your place. They're gonna handle that call. Then, when they're not on duty, and it happens the next night, say they switch shifts, that they're gonna be on day shift instead of the night shift, you call in with that intruder complaint again, Jefferson County will not have a record that you called the night before. Those records do not intermingle.
They were working on that. She was talking with the village of Mugwanago, because Mugwanago covers Walworth and Waukesha. And she said there is a way to do it, and she was working on it.
Okay,
So that's all, that was the conversation we had.
as of right now,
They're currently not synced. They're not synced up.
well, as
There's
a,
a way to do it.
we got prices from the sheriff, and we got prices from Village of Lac LaBelle
I understand.
to run one shift, 7 days a week, and what the cost would be and everything else. And they were much more, and, I mean, it was, and they're right here. You know, and,
Proximity is right there.
yeah. But the idea, though, it just bases, you know, do you wanna cut 150,000 out of here? Because at minimum, that's what we'd have to cut out to sustain next year's budget. And that would not be, I mean, you know, Calvin had a bones budget for fire this year. I mean, a couple pieces of turnout gear, but, I mean, and basic equipment, maintenance and stuff. You know, I mean, so we, you know, you gotta look, you know, he's gonna have needs too. And, you know,
Well, I think we need to look a little more into this law. It's definitely needed. That's not a question with me. It's how to make it work.
exactly.
And it's tough.
Um,
That's why we haven't had it, I guess. But
It's
tough.
exactly why we haven't had
So
it.
we have to find our best scenario that we can live with, you know, until we can figure it out and look through it.
Well, when I talked to the sheriff about this, he quoted me a ballpark number of $150,000 a year.
Yep,
It's not as complete as what Lac LaBelle was going to offer.
It's 5 days a week, I think, too, right?
Yeah, and there was.
it was 5 and 4.
Like rotating.
It was a rotating
weekends
5 and 4.
But
and-
it was something.
But then you got the confusion, nobody knows who to call. You know, another,
You
well,
called 911.
yeah, well, but the
It's
idea is,
confusing.
if you go with the Village of Lac LaBelle, it's 7 days a week, it's this, from this time to this time.
I understand it's way better, but
But-
we can't afford it, you're telling us.
I didn't say we couldn't afford it, I'm just saying there's gotta come out of somewhere here. I mean, do you wanna start, what do you wanna start cutting?
Where do you want to start cutting?
Why is it up to me?
It's not up to you. You're leading the conversation on this. You brought it up. You thought about this. So what do you think? I'm asking you.
So for me, like Calvin was saying, we should be, maybe we're good with that. I'm just saying in instances where I call them, well, I won't even call them anymore, because don't worry, I can protect myself. I'm at that point where it's like, don't pay to call them, because by the time they get there, it's gonna be over with, you know? And maybe we should just stick with what we have right now, until we can figure something out if it works. And if they gave you a 150,
Well,
is that
you
what
know,
you said? Maybe we'll have to accept that for a while.
well, you know, here's the whole thing.
I know, everybody says, oh, you know, it's a great deal, it's gonna get away on us. Well,
Is it more
is
important?
it a great deal if we can't afford it, is it a great deal?
Well, is it more important to have police protection than putting blacktop behind the highway shop? You know, I mean, what's the whole deal? You know, I mean,
Okay, well, now we're
I'm,
talking
I,
about.
well, I
something
mean,
else.
you've got the same budget in front of you. I mean, you could throw some cuts out. I mean, it's, the whole idea is not to throw me under the bus with employees.
We're not-
I mean,
Throwing
oh,
you
these were all Brian's cuts. Well, It's a board. I mean, you're supposed to have ideas just as well as me.
I get the study. Yeah, and one thing I have,
I
Joanne,
think
Oh my
we know what our
God.
answer
one of the things I
Well-
was thinking into was like health insurance, right, and healthcare.
But if we can't afford it, we should probably stick with it.
We have one policy for everybody, right?
Well, we have health insurance, and within that health insurance, there's like 4 different programs, 4 different carriers you can pick.
Okay,
Depending on what carrier you go with, depends on like how much you're gonna pay.
yeah,
So, like, there's one called Mercy.
and I know this was discussed briefly, or partially, because it was, I think, predicated on location of the doctors versus
Right,
where
so like
we are.
Mercy Care, I think it's called Mercy Care. You could've went with that one, that was the lowest amount that the employee had to pay.
Mhm.
But in order to get that coverage, Janesville was the closest that you would go to a doctor. Otherwise, it was all
They were
Madison
out
area.
and out of network didn't really help.
No,
them.
then you'd pay more money if you go to out-of-network.
Right,
So, like Dean Care covers like Pro Health, so you can go into like Waukesha County.
Yeah.
You can go to Watertown, so it covers more of the area.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
So, even within, like, let's say Dean Care, but it's just one, that's who all of our staff are with, Dean Care, right?
yeah, because the majority of them either are in Watertown
Yeah.
or Waukesha.
So within Dean Care, are there different plans for it? And the reason I ask is if I'm 22 years old and just starting, I don't have the same insurance needs as Ben with a family.
It's the same dollar amount, so whether you're single or family.
Right,
type.
that's what I'm saying.
Yep,
They don't have stair steps,
no.
low deductible, high deductible, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, the plans, they do have different deductibles and stuff, with.
But that's the whole plan then, and
Correct.
And
It's
we-
not, like, an individual person cannot pick a different plan.
municipality
The
picks.
board, the village, or the town would have to decide to change their health plan.
That's what I thought, okay. And the reason I ask is just because, I mean, you've got different people in different walks in different stages of their life, they have different needs, and there's different costs. And-
Well, when you have a state plan, unfortunately, the state plan dictates,
Yeah,
So
like
we
right
are-
now,
we are-
you're.
I mean,
like, if
the state plan, they use it as a pool.
Yeah.
They take the good ones with the bad ones and they average it out.
And if you wanted to change your plan, you would have to have done it before now.
Understood. No, I'm
The-
just trying to think about how that impacts, because there's a cost.
Yeah,
I mean, if everybody's gonna dance around, basically, I'll lay them on the table for you guys. Okay, is there justification for a 5% wage increase? Is there justification for the stipend? Is there justification for the $100,000 blacktop? Is there justification for the trench box? I mean, he needs a sweeper out for the Bobcat because the one we have is gone. So, I mean, these are the new purchases, and, I mean, that's where it is. I mean, is there justification for those?
We had $100,000 on the blacktop and 90 on the box, is that correct?
No, 20 or 19, wasn't it?
Oh, 10, I'm sorry.
On the trench box.
Trench box.
That wasn't that.
That was like 18
No,
10?
or 10.
trench box was only 10.
Yeah, 10.
Okay.
I put it for some
Well, I'm
reason.
just saying, I mean, these basically, are these,
The
'cause you
sweep-
can't-
Sweep rate was 13 and a half, right?
we can't change that because the one we have died. Okay,
yeah.
we can't get parts for it. So I'm just saying, those would be your new purchases. Okay, that's what you got to look at because gas is gas, electric is electric, and, everything else. So, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody else throw them under the bus, well,
And
fine. I
we
mean,
had the blacktop at 100 on the back behind the, is that right? The blacktop, we
Yep.
doing that?
Blacktop is for behind the highway shop, which is beginning to fail. Then-
You need
Been
some in front of
proposed
the
that-
fire station also, correct? You were saying, Carl?
Yeah, it's the parking lot behind which, that's my estimate of how much that would cost. Yeah, increases from last year, it's been put in the budget every year for the last 6 years until now, it was just put in there, and it's not getting any better, so, but if doesn't get
Well-
done, it doesn't get done.
but I'm saying those, I mean, or you cut the police department. I mean, those are your
Well, let's
options.
throw out the blacktop for the 7th year then. especially if we're looking at building a new building.
Well, eventually you will have to fix the blacktop, no matter what, if you keep it or you don't. Because
Yeah,
the next person who buys it, it's gonna be a selling point that the parking lot is
Yeah.
bad.
there'd have to be an allowance in the sale price,
We
or
give
you'd
them
have
an
to redo it,
allowance for that.
one of the two.
Yeah,
Yeah, I say let's get rid of the blacktop then.
but where are you gonna put it then? Because the levy's been approved, correct, Joanne?
Yeah,
Do
they
we have to move
can
around?
put it, they can
We're
put it
gonna
wherever they want, they can put it
Put it
into fund
into
balance.
the police department, police protection.
You know, the other, you talked about salaries and increases at 5%. And I've dug into this, and we're coming off last year a 4% raise, now going to a 5% raise, and I guess, Joanne, do you have anything to support it? I don't wanna compromise our staff. So is there something that supports that 5% and the current salaries that they're at, that you, I mean, I went on WTA, they sent me some stuff, I went on ZipRecruiter, I went on GovSales, I mean, and it just seemed like what our hourly rates are for our staff are in line. We're, in some cases, in that 90 percentile. The only jobs that were online at WTA was deputy clerk, and that was at $25 an hour. Yeah, and that was for wherever it was, Springfield, over by in Dane County.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I'm trying to look at this and go 4% last year, 5% this year. I think the average out there in the private sector is probably 2.5.
Right, but you can't compare yourself because there's different circumstances that go along with the private sector.
And I don't wanna get into that argument.
Right.
My only point is I want our people to be treated fair and equitable, and I want them to not, I don't wanna risk losing them.
Right, well, when you got inflation or the cost of living, however you wanna word it, goes up 6, 7, 8%
Yeah.
over the years, and
Yeah.
the percentage of raises that you were giving out are, 2, 3, 4%,
Yeah.
you're always behind.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was the thought process behind this, is that, last year it was over 7%, the cost of living was, and we got a 4%, increase. We're
Right.
thankful for it, but it's just not making, we're falling behind. And, some people wanted a higher increase than 5%, and,
But if I look at our salary structure and our hourly structure and compare it to other towns and townships, it's comparable size. We're right, I mean, like I said, we're right there, we're a little bit above. And in some cases, we're well above what they're doing. So I'm trying to justify it to the residents, saying, okay, well, 5% is, for most people, is huge. And coming off of 4 last year is really substantial. So I was hoping there was something that says, hey, if we don't do something here, this is what we're faced with, because our staff can go anywhere and get that same gig and make more. So that's kind of what I was looking to support the decision to go, if that 5% is the number, to go there. How do we support that number? And I'm struggling with that right now.
Well,
Just,
I think you're looking at a location. You're mentioning Springfield. I know where Springfield is.
Dane- it's Dane County.
Way outside of Dodge. It's between Sauk City and it's between Middleton.
Yeah.
And it's just, they don't have the proximity and the people that we have here, okay?
Size-wise,
So that's
they're-
why you're probably looking at the size,
Yeah.
but you're not looking at what we have here versus they have out there.
No, I agree.
I go out
I
through
don't
there
disagree.
weekly.
And that was
Okay.
my point is, that was the only one that was on WTA
I-
as a job.
But I'm just saying, we are closer proximity to a big population to the east, okay? And that changes things for us here. And the people from the east wanna come here because they wanna try to find, they're sick of that,
Rat race.
rat race.
Yep.
They wanna find it out here. And we're getting more populated, so
And
that's
I-
why we have to pay
I
people
understand,
that,
and
you know.
that's what I said, the only one online was that deputy clerk's job at 25+. So that's all, from comparison, I was just trying to find out where we're at.
Well, I
Against-
talked to the county finance committee chair, who's
Okay.
a friend of mine. He said with across the board raise and the step increases that they have over there, they're at 4.5% for 2026 in their budget.
What are the step increases?
What are the step
What
increases?
do you mean by that?
Well,
Explain that.
That's
6
based.
months, they get a 2%?
Yeah, time, performance, almost everybody will get one. So it's 4%, or 2% across the board, 2.5% for steps.
And those steps are based on merit?
They're based on merit to some degree and also length of service,
Okay. And they would kick in like in June or whatever, mid-year?
whenever. I don't know.
There's an
based on-
increase, but I think
You know,
what
and that's
guys
for
get
our
is not out of
area. You
alignment
have to, like
whatsoever.
Dan said, think about our area
Yeah.
and what the competitive
Yeah.
marketplace is for people.
And all I did was go Wisconsin-wide,
I don't
deputy
know.
clerk, average, high, low, director of public works, high, low, average.
Well, I'm more interested in looking at our area,
Yeah,
With
you
the
know,
area that we're in.
the area we're in, because that's where our people can go to
Exactly
work.
what
so
it is.
that's what the.
But you know, like,
county-
well, I mean, you got some input, Ben?
I didn't get, 2025 numbers. Rural wastewater does a survey every year for wages. These are 2024's numbers, for operators, laborers, 3027. This is the median, the average. DPW superintendent, 4525. Clerks and office staff is 2576, which you have to take that. This is for populations between 5 and 10,000. I would think you'd have to take the clerks and office staff into consideration. That's only the clerk. That's clerks and office staff altogether. That is not the clerk, treasurer. The high on that end is $45.
But the thing is with a lot of operators too, I mean, I'm not looking at, a lot of these operators travel. I mean, these guys that work for these crews, their job might be in Illinois.
Yes.
Or it might be up north somewhere.
Yes.
And I mean, they're traveling.
They stay overnight and they get
Yeah.
paid their,
Yeah,
motels
that's a
and-
whole
and-
different,
yes.
I'm like, well, what is, the area paying for like highway people? I mean, where are we at? I mean, we high, low, I mean, then you can justify what you're doing. I mean, I like to compare apples to apple. I mean, what's in the area?
That's what rural wastewater does. It's I believe that was survey results of over almost 90 for municipalities that reported back, and this was 2024. I know 2025 is quite different. I don't have that one. I couldn't find it online either, but it can be found on rural wastewater site.
I'd just like to make a comment about the wages just a little bit. If you look at my wages proposed for some years, 5%, it'd be 3308. General labor under the highway department making 3221. I'd like for you guys to try and find an operator to make it $1 more for that plant. You think we're overpaid or? you think
I'm not
we're-
saying, Jeff, you're taking this wrong.
Yeah.
We're trying to justify it.
I'm justifying it to you.
Okay, you're justifying one position.
Okay,
I'm just saying,
but all, well,
that's all we're trying to do. You're
but
taking,
all of these, rates were just a little bit high across the state. Is that
But
what
it-
you're saying?
Yeah, when you compare them state averages, and to Brian's point and to Amy's point, they want us to keep it local, and I don't disagree. I'm just trying to give an idea where we at.
You give us, we have to pay that full, cost of that increase in that health insurance.
Uh-huh,
Comes up to 8% for me. You're only giving me 5.
yeah.
That means I'm losing 3%.
no, you're not, because there's a stipend.
If we get the stipend.
Well, that's in the budget right now, and we didn't take it out. So don't, okay, I'm just saying, Jeff, and I'm saying that the insurance has gone up for everybody.
Yeah.
I know, I get it.
I mean,
It's across
Yeah,
the board.
there's no escaping that anywhere you go.
I'm saying I'd like to help with that insurance thing.
Yeah,
Okay, I mean, and that's all part of trying to keep our people.
Yeah, we're not looking to risk anybody. And
I'm
that's
just-
my point, is,
The point I'm making is, these are the places where you can cut, or you cut the police department. And, you know, that's the long and the short of it.
and we do have to support those increases to the residents.
Well,
This is
that's right,
why.
I mean,
I don't wanna lose Ben, I don't wanna lose Jeff, I don't wanna lose Calvin, because if we don't do this, we'll lose them because they can go here, here, here. That's kind of the,
I'm just trying to give thought to what you're saying.
yeah, no,
Nobody's,
Talking about that in 6 months, trying to find my replacement.
less than 6 hopefully, but not for you, but hopefully we're on top of that.
nobody's saying that you're not, I mean, you're getting paid too much.
Yeah,
I
we're not-
don't think that at all. I'm just trying to make some other people understand the increase of 5%. I get that, okay? I guess, do you wanna do it? No, but you should. I mean, you have to, you know, I don't care who you
I'm
are.
a short time here, so it doesn't matter to me, but the rest of these people,
Yeah.
they should be awarded or.
I have no problem with.
well, I mean, there's a lot of places, you know, you get a 2% raise or whatever, and then what cost of living is, it is.
I think it's just.
I mean,
wrong.
but
If we're
I'm,
looking for a cut, that's the wrong place to go.
well, what I'm trying to say is, you know, what is general labor for different highway shops in our area? You know, what is it, what are these operators get paid? I mean, we don't know. I mean, no one has taken the time to research anything.
You can take my wages for the town, you can keep them, I don't care if I get a check. I'm serious.
I understand, Dan, but I'm just,
Because what I'm saying is that I'm here, it's not about the money, okay? For me, it's not about the money.
we're getting off course, I understand, but
You
I'm,
understand what I mean?
I'm just trying to say,
Is-
we,
is-
we don't have nothing to justify.
Joanne, is there anything we could do?
$30.
I don't care. It's gonna be,
And I don't know if we can, like, within, one of the websites had a PSAT, is it called? PSAT, P-S-A-T,
Okay, I don't know what that is.
and you have to actually belong to it evidently, but
okay.
you can pull by municipal function.
Well, I know like the Wisconsin Municipal Clerks Association, they do salary surveys.
Yeah.
So there might be one out there.
Well, there's one at WTA, but it doesn't cross the board, it's not across the board,
Well,
it's
Wisconsin
specific.
Municipal Clerks Association, when we renew our dues and stuff, they
Uh-huh.
ask for the different, salaries and stuff for the different departments.
The
And
one
then,
that Ben was talking about, there is a recent one. It's at my office.
Yeah, no, and I think I've got the one Ben's got, but that was, that's by county, right, Ben?
No,
No.
statewide,
Statewide,
No, I know, but you've got all the counties, and you can break, the counties are all broken down?
no,
Okay, mine,
by
mine,
population.
yeah, you can do it by pop too, but I did by county too.
Is it from Rural Wastewater Association?
No,
Okay, mine is from Rural Wastewater
I mean,
Association.
I'm not saying anybody's overpaid, underpaid. All I'm saying is if you want police protection, where are you gonna take it from? And those were the only increases,
not blaming you.
After I
Yeah.
talk to the-
you know?
Just
I mean, that's the only things we're buying or increasing.
you can give me the lowest per hour on this and I would take it, because I don't even come close to that in an hourly wage.
Well, we
I
did do a
just-
survey, I think, when we set the,
Yeah.
wage of the soon-to-be hired fire chief. Didn't we? That was sort of, we looked at other places, $32.21 an hour. Oh,
I
no,
think-
that's not the chief.
no.
Where's the chief? Oh, he's not on here.
We didn't have one. Got into it.
yeah, I didn't include the chief on the resume, as the resolution, because we haven't hired him yet.
Okay,
And
got
that's,
it.
you guys have a range for that.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pick that out,
That's just personnel, full-time
yeah,
personnel.
we hire him.
And I noticed on the breakdown for staff, you had public works director, I think,
Highway superintendent? Oh,
director of public
Director
works.
of Public
Oh.
Works.
Okay, that's
So-
what it was listed at previously, so.
Well, I think we probably leave it. No, I'm just kidding.
I
We're,
mean, I don't know.
we're revising,
Are you the director of public works, or are you the highway superintendent?
Supposed to be Public Works Superintendent.
Okay, so,
because when we talked about director, the director title, you'd mentioned that it comes with a whole list of,
Okay.
No, not a big deal, because I think we're looking at the employee manual anyway to revise it to kind of map that out that way.
So we should look at this budget and find some places that we can cut and see what we can come up with.
That's kind of what we're doing, yeah.
Maybe we won't get it 100%, maybe we can get it close. Okay?
I'm in favor of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's what we should do.
mean, I have no problem, I just wanted to point out certain problems
Yep.
that I saw and wasn't comfortable with. And what you guys do with it, that's the board's decision, not mine. I just wasn't comfortable with them.
Well, knowing what we're faced next year too, it's going to be, it potentially is going to be very problematic.
I mean, look at it this way, if you get, you know, a new town chair in a year and a half, he's still saddled with a 3 or 4 year lease or contract. So he'd like to know how it's getting paid for, I think.
But that's, they give us a 5, they wouldn't give us anything less.
No, because they had to buy a truck and hire, or a car, I mean, and hire a person and stuff that was fitting in with their needs.
Their needs, then, okay.
Yeah.
Because they probably need another person in this.
Probably, and
like,
this is, we could share,
We could, hey, this is probably an
Oh,
opportunity.
yeah, there's
We can add
definitely
up.
something in it for them.
I mean, it's,
There's definitely something in it for
well,
'em.
but it's a good deal for us.
Yes, it is.
And I'm not saying it's not, I'm just
We
saying,
can
how do
afford
we,
it.
how do we do it?
Yeah, it's a good deal if we can afford it, that's,
Well, I mean, do you wanna borrow 200,000 instead of 150 a year? I mean, that's something to look at. I mean,
not right now until I look at this, and I can tell you,
well, I'm just, I mean, there are options. But I just wanted the whole board to
Right.
say yay or nay, not just me.
And so I guess from where I stand, if we can get some supporting documents on salary, on increases, I would say we need to be competitive. We always
I do,
we
I
always
agree.
wanna be competitive.
I've said that from day one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you lose a good employee, you spend how much training somebody, and then they wreck a truck. I mean,
The cost outweighs the increase.
but I was just pointing out
Yeah.
what was extra.
Yeah.
So either you borrow more, or this is where you cut.
Cut, yeah.
Because, gas and electric and all those, you can't cut.
And I know we talked about this at the one meeting regarding some sort of HSA or FSA. I did reach out to WTA to ask what other towns might do something like that, where we could contribute. And to your point, I think you made the comment that the out-of-pocket is so minimal, it really wouldn't be a factor.
Right, because of the fact that, I mean, we have no out-of-pocket, other
Right.
than like our prescriptions, and, I mean, like,
How many cans of, or pills of or bottles of Advil do you need in the house?
exactly,
Yeah.
I mean.
I need a lot, but.
Because like most municipalities will like give, like, they'll put into like, a flex plan or an HSA or whatever, they'll
Yeah.
put in what your deductible is.
Yeah.
500, 1,000, 1,500, whatever, Well, if we're not using that, it's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that deductible.
well, I
And
think,
FSAs can roll over, so I mean, they could roll over indefinitely.
Yeah, but again, I mean, if you're not paying
I know,
anything out of your
I know.
pocket,
I just thinking maybe
Right.
there's, maybe,
Other than your
maybe the
premium.
insurance industry gets a jolt, cause it
Oh.
can't, I mean, mine went up 9%.
Yeah.
And it can't continue,
Wow.
for everybody, I mean, it doesn't matter where you're working.
right,
So what's gonna happen on that front, I don't know.
well, every town is different, I mean, I think when you look at when you guys are looking at this website, it just kinda gives you in the same sphere, but I don't think you should nail it down to what our town needs because of that, because every town, you get 26 towns, every 26 is different, okay? You just can't model it by this guy pays this, and this town pays
Oh, and I don't-
that.
I don't-
But we're just different here because of the proximity to all the population.
Yeah, that same argument could be made about any town that's outside of out of a metro.
Or are
area,
you gonna
though.
be in a place where there's not hardly any traffic, okay? They probably are looking for something to do, and I don't think Ben's looking for something to do here in this town, okay? And
Well-
that's what I mean.
One of the problems we run into is when you go east, okay, the average home is $100,000 more than our home here for the same thing, okay? Then you go a little further and you get around the lake with Village of Lac La Belle, of Town of Oconomowoc. Okay, their tax base, their levy is huge compared to what ours is. Okay, so obviously they can pay better than we can pay, or we have to cut something. You know, I mean, that's just, I mean, if we match the wages, and it's just as easy for Ben to drive to Oconomowoc and work as it is here.
But the responsibilities are more when you take that kind of job in Oconomowoc because of the amount of people, is what I'm trying to say.
The highway superintendent's more, but the guy running the plow truck, their operator, I mean, it's the
You're right.
same responsibility
He's-
here.
They're
You-
dealing with more people to have to manage.
Well,
Okay.
but I'm just saying, they can,
Well, it's a different climate. It's
they're in a lot easier to pay more.
And there's, yeah,
They just have a
no-
bigger base than we have.
There's no way that I think they're getting overpaid.
I didn't say that, I'm
more,
just,
more getting what?
Nobody's
There's
saying.
no way I think they're getting overpaid.
Oh, no, Danny, no, I don't, we're not. That's not, and again, my thought is I don't have a problem with it if the employees, if they're at risk, or if we're out of whack. You know, if we're 20% lower than the next community over, we're doing something wrong. You need to be able to attract and retain good people, and the only way to do that is pay them a competitive wage. Now, what is that? That's my question. What is that competitive wage?
It's a loaded question.
That result, or that survey we were talking about for statewide average.
Yeah.
3,000 people to 5,000 people per operator, laborer, $35 an hour. Statewide average. That's just for an operator, labor.
For operator,
Operator or laborer.
for what though? When you say operator labor, what do you
That's a
refer to?
statewide average.
For the plant or
For the
for?
plant?
It's, the survey is done by WWRA, Wisconsin Rural Water
Yeah.
Association.
Okay, so,
So you've got operators and you've got laborers.
okay,
In that field, but it also goes on to talk about clerks, deputy clerks, DPW superintendents, managers,
yeah, we have some of that here.
yeah. So that's for an example.
I would just like to see once what Town of Oconomowoc pays, what Oconomowoc pays and around the area, and then we know we can justify either we're very low or we're not, or we're right in the ballpark. I mean, you gotta look at what the surrounding area offers. I'm not too worried about what Princeton pays or Madison pays or,
Well, if you could just go, I did this last year, and this is why we increased the wages for everyone.
Ben, does that speaker work over there?
No, it
No.
does not.
It's not.
Okay,
I did this last year for increasing the, employees' wages for, the DPW workers. This is last year's numbers, cause this is what I did last year. City of Oconomowoc has, they had an ad for, forestry and parks, and their range, this is last year's numbers, was $25 to $29 starting, all the way up to $32.86 an hour. Town of Oconomowoc last year was currently seeking employees, last year was seeking employees from a range of $30 to $38 an hour. The city of Waukesha had an ad out last year, starting at $24.40, all the way up to $32.93. Jefferson County last year started new hires with no experience at $25.60 an hour. At 7 years of experience, they were at $30.73 up to $32.91. Mechanics wages for Jefferson County were between $29.92 and $38.49.
And I think from the mechanic side of it too, you've got any implement store or dealership, you're competing against those wages too for that person, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, that's a scarier one too.
see, so that tells you,
You talking about mechanics, you know?
Yeah, just in general.
I mean, if you
So-
go by that, we're right in the ballpark.
And those were last year's numbers, which would have also been increased last year too. That's why the rural wastewater, the one Jeff just had, that was done this year, the statewide average for 3,000 to 5,000 people for laborers was $35.28, with a range between $22 and $54. For 5,000 to 10,000 population, they had a range between $18 and 54 cents all the way up to 41.20 with an average of 34.52. For superintendents,
And stop, how many people, what did that what did that size look like? Does it give you a size? This-
yeah, that was a population of 3,000 to 5,000.
No, I'm sorry, the sample size.
The survey was a survey of 93, I believe. 12, no, so it was for that range, it was a survey of 13.
Okay,
For 5 to 10,000, it's a survey of 15.
okay.
So that's 15 different municipalities.
Yep.
If you wanna look at superintendents, 3,000 to 5,000 population was a range between $30.36 all the way up to $74.61 with an average of 46.44. 5,000 to 10,000 was range between $37 an hour to $97.34 with an average of 54.70. Clerks and office staff was a range between $20 for 3,000 to 5,000 people was a range between $20 an hour to $25 an hour. For 5,000 to 10,000 is $21.81 to $52.63 an hour. It's an average of 32.36.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that I think we wanna see that to support, right? And just say, again, I don't have a problem paying people and to retain, attract and retain. I mean, that's what we need to do here. So what does that number look like?
Well,
That's
we're
what-
getting stuck on the people thing, okay? I mean, we gotta kinda move on.
Yep,
I didn't say we should cut them or not cut them or whatever. I'm just saying, you asked me where you could cut money out, and I said, these are the only increases. Was the 5%, the stipend, the purchases. So you either agree with them or you don't agree with them, and then you figure out, are you gonna borrow more to have police, excuse me.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion that we remove from the 2026 budget the blacktop project for behind the highway shop, estimated to cost $100,000. Sorry. For the 7th year in a row, we just put it off.
second,
I have a motion and a second to cut the blacktop behind the highway shop. Is there any other discussion?
Can it be patched?
I would ask to at least put $10,000 in the materials fund to fix the patches.
patch the patches.
Patched.
Yeah.
Well-
Okay, so how much do you need that trencher box thing? We'll cut that out.
Technically, to do I would just we'll patch in the blacktop behind, because the trench box is a safety issue for if we're doing any work in the trenches.
Okay,
We should have it, that's a safety issue.
One of the things about that, should we be doing that work versus contracting it if there's exposure? That maybe we're not the profession, we don't do it enough to warrant us doing it, and
We do
is there
replace culverts all the time. I
Yeah,
feel the crew
but
is adequate to
where you
do
would need the
that.
trench box to that degree?
The only time you need to use trench boxes in a trench deeper than 4 feet.
4 feet, yeah.
So generally, we don't replace many culverts that are 6 feet
No.
deep. That's probably the max. That's why this is a small trench box for that job.
And I know it's only 10 grand, I shouldn't say only, but it's 10 grand, but my concern is more my concern is more the exposure piece. If we're doing something that we don't normally do, where should we be contracting for that
Just gonna
service?
say, you're towing, so we should probably have it contracted out instead of having.
And I don't know the answer, I'm asking the question, is
So
it
it's
something that
raised.
is to that
An
degree?
excavator come in and do that kind of stuff for us.
or can you ever rent a piece of equipment like that?
You can rent trench boxes. Generally, we have culverts that go out and we just take care of them and replace them.
Mhm.
It's just,
Okay.
we've done, I don't feel like the exposure is there. I mean, this is just the job that we do.
Just the depth that you're going is the variation.
That's the only variation,
Yeah.
and
That's what I thought, I just didn't know if we were getting
generally,
it.
when we get bigger culverts, anything usually bigger than a 30-inch culvert that's 6 feet, deeper than 6 feet, then we have the county come and help us.
Okay,
And that's how we take care of those. Those are for the larger culverts, we don't have a hole big enough to dig them anyways, so, but with the equipment that we have, we've taken care of them and saved the town a considerable amount of time and money replacing
County-
the culverts ourselves.
County have a trench box?
No, they do not have, or, they generally dig, they have big enough equipment that they dig the hole much wider.
wider.
So,
That's a possibility too, instead of digging yourself just a trench, start digging it, you know, when you dig it, you're digging down, but then you're widening the side, not down to the bottom, you know, so it doesn't
But
cave.
we don't have the equipment to do that, do we?
to dig wider, or,
Got the mini excavator?
yeah, but I was just, it's really should be used if we're going to do culvert work, which we have done a considerable amount of culverts in the
Yeah.
past, and,
Yeah. And again,
yeah.
I didn't know how deep how involved we got with it, with the trench.
Generally, you don't have to have the trench box for what we do.
Yeah.
It's just this, certain culverts require that we should really be doing it that way. Have we come up with other ways to do it? Yes. Would this make the job easier? Yes,
And safer.
and safer.
Well, my motion is only for the blacktop, just for the record.
Are you done then?
But he was requesting that you put money.
10.
Oh, yeah.
Ten-
That's how we got off track,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
he
that's
requested
right.
10.
That's right, I
repair
was
the
kind of
blacktop.
making a joke about the,
It's-
can you find $10,000 in your budget to,
We might be able to, if there's the money left, it'll come out of, if we have to fix something in there, it'll just come up later to the board that we have to repair the asphalt, and it's just gonna be a budget amendment at that time. That we're gonna spend extra money to repair the blacktop.
or just patch something? All right,
Well, if our wages are compatible to the area, I don't know. But that's if they are, and we're getting a 5% raise, which is good.
Do you wanna address the motion, or are you?
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
so you
Maggie.
can finish
I'm
the
just
motion.
asking.
Oh, okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion?
Can I make a recommendation?
Not till I get,
On the subject.
we have a
It's
motion
on that
and
subject.
a second.
You got a discussion?
I mean, this is kind of a half meeting, half not with the way we're running it. That's why, I mean,
Well, I'm just thinking, I have $10,000 in building repair. I'd be willing to give that to Ben for the patching of the,
That would just address the issue when it comes up. If
Okay. so a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion on removing the $100,000? Okay, hearing no more discussion. Those in favor, signal by aye.
I,
Opposed? Okay, you saved $100,000. The only other question is if our wages are fair or not, which I'm not sure they are, but if we do some investigating and we have a 5% raise, do we wanna make the stipend like 50%?
Well,
Because,
Stay with the salaries, what if we stair step them? I mean, that's another consideration, like Jefferson County stair steps them. And is there any, I mean,
that's fine, but that takes time to interview people, you know.
no,
Well,
you-
if you're stair step,
wait,
you would just.
okay, by year, if you're gonna take just by number of years of service.
Percentage, and then, yeah, and then,
Maybe that's what we have to look at instead of going just a straight 5%.
and again, Joanna and I have had this discussion about merits and application of merit raises, and again, I've got 2 employees, one is, they're just in different phases in their world, and one's more valuable to me than the other one is. Do they deserve a higher, and maybe put forth more effort or whatever, do they deserve a higher percentage? I don't know,
Well, part of these merit and all these and interviews or all these things are all grand, okay, but there's a limited number of people here during
and
the
we don't
day.
have an infrastructure.
And I mean, you need infrastructure to
Yeah.
do this kind of stuff. I mean, the amount of time I just spend down here, I mean, the ladies are always busy. So, I mean, it's
know.
like, it's easy to sit here, but let's be careful on what we add too.
Yeah, I
If
don't
you're gonna
disagree.
go with anything, then if you're gonna step it, go with people that have 5 years versus somebody who started and then 7 or 8, pick a tier.
Yeah,
Or
I
go
think
4 years and then 6 years or,
And I'd like to see some of the information that they were quoting too, just to.
yeah,
to support
but I'm
it.
just saying,
But that's an option to save money too. You start at 6 months, even if you did, if you 2.5 and 2.5, 2.5 now, in January or whatever, and then 2.5 in June, you're saving 6 months worth of salary for that 2.5%. Seems petty, but
It's a big deal.
I don't know.
well, do you wanna table this for tonight? And we'll re-meet in a week or something, or you guys have some,
Any other thoughts, guys? I mean,
Well, next week is Thanksgiving, just
oh, that's,
saying,
yeah,
Next week ain't gonna work, man.
No.
No,
right?
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, already, yeah.
And deer hunting, and not that I hunt, but, I mean, a lot,
Well, I know what
there
you
are
mean.
people that do.
so you have Joanne, you have the full salary for the fire chief at 95 in the budget, right?
Well, that's because I budgeted,
Yep.
because you don't, it's a range, we don't
Yep.
know where we're gonna
We don't know
be,
where we're
so
gonna
I
be.
went to the the extremes.
Yep.
That doesn't necessarily mean you have to do that,
Yeah.
like. it's
No, I get it.
based off
We
of-
advertised it.
But
as a
that
range.
We
over,
did.
if you look at that impact of the overall budget, because previously the chief was part-time.
Right,
And what was, I mean,
it was like 30-something,
so we've almost tripled that number. And not that we shouldn't,
Yeah.
but that's an impact.
It's out
Yeah,
there.
Yep,
It's not
And
gold,
this-
it's not solid yet.
right, and this is the last year, the auditors confirmed with me that this is the last year that we have that ARPA money, to use for the fire department, salaries.
How much is in that?
It was, 69,000, I believe it was.
Okay, so use it or lose it.
Well,
Goes
yeah,
away.
or it goes back.
yep, yeah.
So that was part of, I did include it in the revenue side.
Then I'll give you 190 every month, and you can just go past that baby.
Well, I didn't know we were going to have this conversation tonight, so I wish I'd brought my budget workshop papers that have a more detailed breakout of how much we're spending in all these categories. That would have been helpful. So maybe we would benefit from another meeting when we can all be more prepared.
Absolutely.
What is the total
I don't do
stipend?
deer hunting
The
either.
proposed stipend, what was it?
The proposed stipend was $4,000 per
Per.
family participant.
And how many were there?
6,
6, thank you.
6 and
Yes,
3
there's 6
singles.
and 3 singles.
Okay, so,
Are you sure it's 6?
I'm
I thought we had 8 that were,
100% sure, I could,
thought it was 8 that we have on the health insurance.
and that's 8 total or 8?
8 total, and then 3 of them are single and 5 are on the family plan.
Okay.
And there was a question about how to treat the people who do not take health insurance
Right,
through the town and be fair, because that would become part of the salary package.
Well, and the
for
single
For
was,
2026.
yes.
So we want to treat everybody fairly, even if they don't take health insurance.
And
through
that
the town.
becomes, so, one of the things I have a concern about this, is it becomes a slippery slope that we're trying to offset every cost of living expense.
Well, that's-
And that
yeah.
can be very dangerous.
Well, and can we maintain it next year?
And can we? Yeah, so let's say we do it this year, but next year we can't.
Yeah,
So not only our insurance is gonna go up again, we're not gonna be able to offset that, but we're not gonna be able to give the offset we already gave them again. So it just becomes a very slippery slope, guys, and I caution. I get the pinch, I mean, I'm feeling it too.
I think a lot of that stipend deal would be how competitive our wages are.
I think that's the.
I
that's
mean, because
ultimately
if our
that's it.
wages aren't competitive, then we have a problem.
Yep.
If they're competitive, then we're not as big, then we have to kind of look at other
Yeah.
avenues. But until we decide that, I don't think you have an answer.
Joanne, what are you hearing out in the,
Doesn't say this.
the sphere with regard to the increase in any offsets or any kind of, how are other towns addressing it, or how are other villages or cities addressing?
Well, I know like, so when you're in Waukesha County, they offer different coverages.
Yeah.
Different, providers, and one of the providers, I believe it was Network Health. There was actually, so like the Village of Lac LaBelle, they were actually saving money, cause it was a reduction. But that's not a provider that's offered in Jefferson County, so it's not, available to us. So, that was just one conversation I
So
had.
there would be no need for them to do anything, because they got a reduction.
Correct, yeah.
Well, you can fight the insurance thing to death. It always raises, it always goes up.
Like I said, my biggest fear there is that, we won't be able to do it again next year, and then there's gonna be another increase. Will it be 7%, 8%? Probably, maybe not, who knows?
Well, and like going from 23, I don't think, going from 24 to 25, there was a decrease.
Yeah,
And now going 25 to 26, they inflated it.
Yeah.
So, who knows why?
the actuarials know why.
What's that?
The actuarials know why,
Yeah,
because
right,
the numbers told them that.
yeah.
So, I just, again, throwing that out there, I just concerned that we could actually create a little nightmare for ourselves if we're not careful.
Well, I'm in favor of having another meeting to hash this stuff out, and then we can all be prepared with all of our figures.
Well, we could meet next Monday.
Okay?
I mean, that doesn't affect Thanksgiving.
No,
No,
I can do that.
you'll be back?
Oh, I'll be back. 6:30 is better than 6 o'clock for me.
One observation about that insurance.
Yes.
I believe, Dean last year did not have an increase, or it was very minimal increase, and all the rest of them went up. So it's very possible Dean will see an increase next year. We may not be addressing this next year. Every year, it seems as though on those 4 different groups, they are always moving,
They
increases around.
they take turns increasing?
Yeah.
I think that's illegal.
It wouldn't shock me if they flip a coin, it's here.
But it
Well,
does-
This Monday, right?
I can make Monday or Tuesday, Dan, it doesn't matter. I mean, if Monday's tough for you, I just thought it's,
Monday's all right.
well, we could meet Monday at 7.
Monday would be good for me.
Fine,
Monday's
Fine.
better, yeah. Monday's
We could meet Monday at 7.
yeah.
all
I
right.
mean, nothing said, by that time, we should be prepared.
Yeah.
So we should be able to, and we don't have any other things to go through, other than to finalize the budget. And then, I guess if you wanna review Peter's contracts, we could have him here or wait
Yeah,
till
why
the
isn't he
board
here?
meeting.
Why wasn't he here?
No, I guess
He's
nobody
here.
told him.
He
Sure,
should,
put the contracts, except,
at the last meeting, everybody should have known.
No, it wasn't announced that Peter's contracts would be, or the,
Okay,
that
okay, okay.
contracts wasn't
Oh, yeah,
announced at
his-
the meeting.
yeah, okay, I
well,
get it.
we referred those contracts back to the Park and Rec Board, and they will not have had a chance to discuss it
By Monday.
by
right.
Monday.
Okay, then we'll just leave them out, then it's strictly budget
Yeah,
for next Monday night.
Is
okay.
Motion was to postpone discussion, or refer back to the Park and Rec? We postponed.
Well,
You just postpone to a future agenda.
Yeah, we don't have to, it's not contingent upon them renegotiating it
Yeah.
or rethinking it.
That was mentioned, but that wasn't in part of
yeah,
the
I
motion.
thought I mentioned, okay,
Yeah,
no,
no.
whatever.
So, Brian, if we
okay.
can't get them back
They
on,
come back.
and make sure Peter's here,
Make sure Peter's
you know,
been notified.
I'd like to, yeah, I think, again, we're well within our right to do that. And I think we should have done it, but we should have done, we can't just do it all once either, it's kinda like,
Well,
sticker shock is gonna kill him.
Do you want me to text Peter right now and ask him if next
But
Monday is?
Here's the thing, are we
good for him?
getting too picky on small
yeah,
things?
go ahead.
Okay,
Should be looking at the bigger things where we can take things out, or
Yeah.
we're killing the small things, why? the big things that are killing.
Cause there aren't any
Not-
other big things.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
There aren't any.
We've talked about
But
the
killing the big thing, I mean, the small things, there's only so many times you can cut it.
Yeah,
Well,
we
is-
talked,
Is that increased revenue built into the park and rec budget
No,
for 2026?
no, it wasn't put into the budget.
Okay,
So that would
good.
be an increase in revenue.
cause it's not approved, that's why you didn't include it.
Right.
So if we change it, it won't be it.
So if 105 is too much, let's go 95.
Again,
Is it sticker shock? You know, like,
but think about 90 games at 105 a game, they were paying 1,500, now they're paying 9,500?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it would come out to be.
So, I mean, for any entity to take an increase like that,
That's a lot.
and
I don't wanna-
I'm not suggesting they shouldn't be paying,
I don't wanna answer them phone calls,
but
I mean,
but we should have
but
probably,
we have to step it.
we should have kept up with it.
Yeah, it's
That
not,
should increase it, but maybe not that large.
That's my
it's not the parents' fault that we didn't do our job.
Yeah, over the last 5 years. So,
Can't correct it in
That
one
was my
sitting.
suggestion when we were talking about it in the office, was that,
Phase it?
yeah, to
Yeah.
do it in phases, cause that was such a large jump.
Yeah.
But
Mm,
when the park and rec met, they chose not to do it.
Too much of a
Anyways.
jump.
Yeah.
It's
were we
too big.
were we at a motion to postpone additional discussion on all of this then?
Was I
There was no
making a
motion.
Was I making a motion?
I don't know.
I'll make a motion then to postpone discussion of the budget and the approval of the budget until our next meeting. You wanna make it Monday, the 24th?
That's what I thought we were doing.
Yeah.
Okay,
At
And that would,
7 o'clock.
to include
That's-
UD1 and UD2 also.
at 7 o'clock.
Do you wanna, okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to postpone budget discussions until next Monday night. Is any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, do you wanna continue with the utility district, or do you wanna let that go till Monday night?
I thought you incorporated UD1 and UD2 in
Yeah, I
that
kind
motion.
of, I thought that was the all part.
I just
Yeah.
wanna make clarification that I should have
Yeah.
before.
Yes, she is.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I include that
Yep,
all.
good.
Okay, that's my mistake, I didn't hear it. Okay, I need a motion.
Motion to adjourn, so moved.
Second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, we're adjourned.
Oh,
So,
good.
yeah, we have a meeting on Thursday to go over the questions that we're gonna ask. And get that all set up, and out of 7 applicants, we have 4 of them that,
We wanted to,
that we wanted to interview, and all 4 of them have agreed to come in
on the same day,
on the same day.
which is amazing to me.
Yep.
That's great.
This Thursday.
No, the interviews are gonna be December
December
4th.
4th, because of the holiday.
Yeah, because of Thanksgiving, so.
Thanksgiving, whatever. So I think it's amazing that they, all 4 of our top kids
Yeah.
agreed to come in.
I-
And they didn't say, hey, I'll
Yeah.
wait, you guys are taking too long,
No,
which
they-
is, I think, a good sign. There were some very good people there. I mean, it wasn't like, we got the dregs.
But I think we had a couple that were way over.
Yeah, or, what?
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt your conversation.
That's okay. No, we're just,
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
have a copy of the budget? Because I didn't.
The budget or the worksheet?
I don't know, whatever,
Well, that's the budget.
okay,
This is our worksheet that we work off of.
okay. Are we allowed to take one of those or just look at it?
Yeah, if you wanna take it, it's, what we work off of.
Okay. Is Badger Books listed in here?
It's not listed separately, it's
Okay.
listed underneath, if you look at the elections, on page 3, and you look at election equipment,
Okay,
you'll see 13,504,
okay,
and that's for the new DS 300 that we have to purchase, and the Badger Books.
okay. That's something I should making a comment
Right
about?
here it is. What happened.
Like, is that something that earlier would have been a good thing to say, or?
Hey Ben, did you shut it down?
Yeah.